You will call me a master.
Never.
You will not fight. You will meet your destiny.
There's good in you. I felt it.
That's what she said. So, is this what you do when I'm not home? Have you ever been told that you're not a real fan?
Have you ever felt left out because you haven't been reading comic books for the last 40 years?
Have you ever wanted to know the entire background of a film without having to read all 3,407 pages of the books?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Open your browser and search the professionals.
Pop Nerd.
Our knowledgeable staff is geeking out 24 hours a day to answer your geek-related questions.
We're ready to inform you.
We have been waiting for this movie our whole lives, a standalone Star Wars film. Finally, we get to explore the expanded Star Wars universe on the big screen.
Well, I don't know how expanded it will be since this movie takes place immediately before Episode 4. It's more like another prequel to the original trilogy.
Don't ever say that word again. This is just the beginning. Disney Lucasfilm has already announced other spin-offs featuring known characters.
Let's focus on this one for a minute. Already, this movie is a bit different from traditional film marketing.
How so?
Well, normally you get a teaser that showcases the actors and maybe something eye-catching like an explosion. Then you get several trailers that tell more about the world, setting, and players. There's a hint of the story, and then that's it. Hope you enjoy the movie.
How is this different? We got all of that, and we still don't really know that much about the story.
Au contraire. We know almost everything about the story thanks to this. And this.
What the hell is that?
This is Rogue One Catalyst, an officially licensed book that takes place before Rogue One.
I thought the entire expanded universe was trashed.
The old books were. The impenetrable swamp of Star Wars stories that eager fans devoured for years is gone, but that doesn't stop Lucasfilm from putting out new ones. In fact, we know almost everything, including many of the key characters.
Wait, we're breaking format!
I rebel.
Okay, let's start with the easy stuff, the setting.
We know this takes place just before Episode 4.
Right. If you remember the start of A New Hope, Darth Vader is chasing Princess Leia.
You weren't on any mercy mission this time. Several transmissions were beamed to the ship by rebel spies. I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
The plot of Rogue One hinges on stealing plans to the Death Star, so it's safe to say that Jyn Erso and her lovable band of miscreants are the spies that Lord Vader is talking about.
The lead protagonist is Jyn Erso, and she has become part of the rebellion against the Empire. She is given a mission by Mon Mothma.
Recognize her?
To find her father, Galen Erso.
Which brings us to... Before this book came out, we had to guess at why Galen Erso was so important to the Empire. But now we know.
It turns out that Galen is a pacifist who's trying to create clean, cheap energy using kyber crystals, which are the same crystals that Jedi use to power their lightsabers.
When did you learn all this?
During the intro. Do you want to talk about the movie or my speed reading?
Alright, sassy pants. During the Clone Wars, both sides wanted Galen to work for them. He refused and was captured and jailed by the Separatists.
An old friend, Orson Krennic, breaks him and his family out, but not before his daughter, Jyn, is born in prison.
Despite already feeling indebted to Krennic, he's still unwilling to help make weapons. Krennic arranges for him to be imprisoned again, only to use his influence to free him. This time, Galen agrees to work for the Empire.
I feel like Orson and Tywin Lannister would be BFFs.
But when Galen finds out that he's only being used to develop the Death Star super laser, he and his family go on the run.
Other key players from Catalyst are Jyn's mother, who is sensitive to the Force.
There's also the smuggler turned freedom fighter Saw Gerrera. You might recognize that name from the Clone Wars show where he played a smuggler.
The book ends with Saw helping the Urso family escape to the faraway planet Lamu, and Saw bonding with Jyn.
So, what do we know about the movie?
Well, like we said, we know this movie is going to be about stopping the Death Star.
We also know that the rebels eventually get plans to the Death Star. They should consider upgrading to the new MacBook Pro.
And based on what we learned in Rogue One Catalyst, the Empire finally hunts down and captures Galen, and finding some way to force him to work for them.
We're also going to experience the birth of the rebellion. The trailers showcase how the movement is struggling under the crushing weight of the Empire.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
Unfortunately, the movie is unlikely to have a happy ending.
Yeah, because there are no Jedi in this movie and this dude is showing up.
Come on, what about the blind dude?
Nope, not a Jedi.
Really?
Really.
Lame.
What was that? You already wrote the fan fiction, didn't you?
Maybe. So the reason we expect the ending to be depressing is...
If Vader knows that Leia receives the transmissions, likely that means he knows where they came from.
Which means it's bad news bears for the Rogue One team.
We're also expecting the Force to play some significant aspects, since this is a Star Wars movie, after all.
Yeah, and since the trailer specifically mentions that Jin's mother is force sensitive, we're pretty sure it's going to be important.
Our last thought is that Galen is going to be responsible for creating the exhaust port that's used to destroy the Death Star.
It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Since he was a pacifist and forced into helping the Empire, he wanted a way to destroy the Death Star.
Which would answer the 40-year plot hole of why would a super weapon have such a glaring and obvious structural weakness?
It's not a plot hole!
Make sure to like and subscribe to see more geeky content.
And you can find all of our content at thegrandgeekgathering.com.